Hey everyone, Brian Zane here with my review of the 2021 Royal Rumble pay-per-view. I apologize, my voice is already beginning to give out right now. It was a very shouty evening watching this show. There was a lot of fun, a lot of crazy stuff happening from beginning to end. Let's begin right now with the WWE Championship match as Drew McIntyre defended against Bill Goldberg. We get a pre-match brawl before the bell rings, a spear through the barricade, so Drew's already questionable. He gets in the ring and the match begins. There's a claymore, a kick out, two spears by Goldberg and a kick out. We get a jackhammer that appears to be in defiance of God's will. It's so bad, but Drew somehow kicks out. He avoids the spear. Goldberg sells the corner shot for a very long time and walks into another claymore. Drew wins with his championship reign and his health miraculously intact, and then we get some nice respect at the end from Goldberg there. I give it 1.5 stars out of 5. It's a low rating, but there's a lot of bang for the buck in how short of a match this was. Bonus points for Drew winning, honestly. It was short and sweet. It made Drew look unbeatable, as things should be. Up next, Smackdown Women's Championship on the line as Sasha Banks defends against Carmella, and I have to say, I've really been enjoying the build this match has been getting in the last month or so on SmackDown. Lots of great back and forth in this matchup. Also, I really appreciate how Carmella's character is really shining through in this match. Great character work by her here throughout the entire match. Carmella at one point throwing Sasha into Reggie, head scissors to Reginald. Reggie is out of here, but what did he do? He actually helped Sasha and broke her fall. And then that follow-up dive by Carmella looks really bad and scary. You even see Sasha checking on her for a second. Somehow Carmella's face is in one piece and the match continues. There's a frog splash attempt, but the knees come up. The code of silence by Carmella, but Sasha gets out of it. The Meteor is intercepted with one kick, then another kick, and then a kick out. Carmella's looking frustrated, gets caught in the bank statement, and Carmella taps. Sasha retains. I give it 3.5 stars out of 5. It's a really solid match here with these two ladies. They really brought it to the table here. And I have to say, Carmella, I think, is proving more and more every week, it seems, just how she's a better performer than most people seem to give her credit for. Backstage, we see Big E and Xavier chatting about the Rumble match. Sami Zayn interrupts and says his shtick. Then Kofi Kingston shows up. Man, they cannot keep these guys apart. He's not medically clear, but they want to show off that fucking amazing Brody Lee tribute gear they're all wearing. Very cool. All right, it's time for the Women's Royal Rumble match. At number 1, it's my pick to win the whole thing, Bayley. And at number 2, the return of Naomi. We've not seen her in God knows how long. Great to see her back here. Number 3 is Bianca Belair. And number 4 is Billie Kay, who in my opinion is the MVP of the first third of this matchup. Because first off, she shows up on commentary, hangs out there for a while. And then for the next several entrants, she just goes up there and approaches them with her resume. And the shtick gets better almost every time. First, you got Shotzi Blackheart coming out with a tank, and Shotzi fires a warning shot at Billie at first. At number 6 is Shayna Baszler, who punches Billie's resume away. Number 7, Toni Storm, who rejects Billie's handshake. Baszler eliminates Blackheart during this. At number 8, the return of Jillian Hall. Man, what a flashback this is. And she's formed an alliance with Billie Kay. She's accepted the resume. They are now billion. At number 9, Ruby Riott. At number 10, Victoria, another blast from the past who still definitely has it from what we saw in this matchup here. At number 11 is Peyton Royce, and we get some internal conflict with Billie Kay. Is she a punk or is she an iconic? What world does she belong in? At number 12 is Liv Morgan. Lillian betrays Billie, gets eliminated by her though. Billie then dumped out by Ruby. At number 13, Santana Garrett. At number 14, Rhea Ripley shows up in Clean's house, takes out Toni Storm. Victoria still gets her shit in with the tarantula, but she gets choked out by Shayna and takes a nasty fall. Ripley then takes out Santana. At number 15 is Charlotte Flair, who earlier in the night took the pinfall and lost the women's tag belts to Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler after her father helped Lacey out. A sneaky elimination by Bayley onto Ruby Riott. Liv Morgan's gone. At number 16 is Dana Brooke. At number 17, Tori Wilson, and she's a house of fire. Dana Brooke murdered by Rhea Ripley on the apron with that powerbomb. 18 is Lacey Evans, led out by Ric Flair and wearing a Flair robe. Charlotte decks her and chases her out of the ring, then takes out Peyton Royce. Baszler eliminates Tori. Bianca eliminates Bayley, and the cameras almost totally miss it, which is very disappointing. And in hindsight, looking at Bianca's path in this thing, and especially the feud these two have had for the last several weeks, really disappointing that, for all intents and purposes, they missed it. They got the wrong angle for it. Number 19 is Mickie James. Number 20 is the returning Nikki Cross, back for the first time in a good while. Number 21, Alicia Fox. We saw her at Legends Night a few weeks ago. Then R-Truth shows up. Then the gaggle of jobbers run past trying to get the belt. In the process, Alicia's actually able to roll up Truth and become the 24/7 champion. champion. Mandy Rose is out next. She eliminates Fox, then Truth shows back up and regains his championship. Number 23, Dakota Kai. Number 24, Carmella's back out there. She gets caught by Reginald off the apron, then Carmella takes out Nikki. And number 25 is Tamina. Reggie has caught Carmella again, but he puts her down on the ground to take a super kick, and in doing so, eliminates Carmella himself. Tamina and Ripley square off in the ring. Naomi, you think she's eliminated, but she lands on her back, using Bianca's ponytail to pull herself back up on the apron. They both hang upside down and work together to get back in the ring. Nice, and I did like the coordination and the stuff we saw between these two particularly. And number 26 is Lana, back from her pre-TLC injury, looking very serious here, or is it nerves? At number 27, Alexa Bliss. The ladies immediately dogpile her after she gets a big run. She begins her metamorphosis, but Rhea's got no time for that shit and eliminates Bliss. Awesome. Number 28, Ember Moon. Number 29, Nia Jax. She and Baszler join forces. Evans is out. Moon is out. Naomi is out. We got a fight between the two of them and Tamina's gone. Suddenly, Nia and Shayna begin to trade the worst blows I've ever seen since me, and suddenly the cameras are all over the place in an attempt to cover it up. It is madness, and it's nauseating to watch. Lana then eliminates Nia Jax by sheer cunning. At number 30 is Natalya, and then Nia and Shayna leave together. What was going on with these two? So Natalya in the ring, she hugs Lana. They even have matching gear tonight, but she betrays her and dumps Lana out. How could she? The final four are Bianca Belair, Charlotte, Rhea Ripley, and Natalya. Bianca dumps out Natalya, then Bianca and Rhea eliminate Charlotte together. That's good symbolism. A cool moment where Rhea and Bianca almost take each other out, but they have a ladies' agreement to get back in the ring. A great exchange here at the end, and finally Bianca with a clothesline over the top, and Bianca wins. What a stellar Rumble performance, and what a great emotional post-match promo by Belair. I give it 4.5 stars out of 5. This match had a lot of really fun surprises. Billie Kay was awesome. Naomi was awesome. Rhea Ripley was awesome. Bianca Belair, of course, was awesome. And just the right amount of legend involvement, too. They weren't too overbearing in this one. It just felt like it felt natural to see them in there. The only thing that really sucked about this match was the awkward Nia-Shayna exchange, made worse by the production, and us almost nearly missing Bayley's elimination. Besides that, though, I had a lot of fun watching this thing. Backstage, Miz and Morrison go to Bad Bunny's dressing room after his performance from earlier. They want to recruit him, but Bunny says no. They talk mess about Booker T, who is the topic of the Bad Bunny song Booker T. Then Booker T shows up and gives them what for. The kickoff panel have a chat when R-Truth shows up. Peter Rosenberg telling Truth that John Cena's here. Truth is fooled and he's hitting the balls. Rosenberg with a very bad pin to Truth to become the new 24/7 champion. Okay, fine, now retire the belt forever. In your semi-main event, it's a last man standing match for the Universal title as Roman Reigns defends against Kevin Owens. Mind you, in an alternate timeline, we'd be seeing Reigns versus Adam Pearce, but maybe next time. The match begins and it's guns blazing. Roman with a Superman punch early on, but KO hits the pop-up powerbomb in response. A big-ass spear on the floor. Roman with many stare attacks, but Kevin comes back with some of his own. They fight into the crowd of screens, really exploring the space here, going up a couple risers. Kevin attacks Roman's legs. They fight near a tall ledge in the dome. KO with the stunner, Reigns with the punch, throwing Kevin off the ledge and through a table, which makes a wonderful splat noise. Kevin somehow pulls himself up at 9. He staggers around the backstage area, spilling into the practice ring area. Then out of nowhere, Roman Reigns runs him the fuck over with a golf cart. Funny story, as we saw this scene unfolding, Jay Biggs, who was watching with me tonight, said, oh, he's going to get hit like Sammy Guevara style, like 10 seconds before it happened. And then it happened. He's a damn soothsayer, I tell ya. Somehow Owens gets back up, Roman talks crap about Kevin's family, and Owens goes wild, power bombs him onto a table and hits a frog splash through it. Reigns just barely makes it back up before 10. KO slams him onto a paint table of some kind, raises a forklift bed, climbs up to the top of it, and jumps off with a swanton through the tables. Roman barely beating the count again. KO drags Roman back to the dome proper, goes for another pop-up powerbomb, but Reigns hits the punch, spears Kevin through the set, and the announcers really undersell it. Where are the sparks? Owens rolls off the stage and onto his feet at 9, which is great. Roman with handcuffs begins to blast away at Kevin. Owens with another stunner. Owens handcuffing Reigns in a part of the set and is trapped, unable to actually stand on his feet. Almost gets counted out, but Reigns throws the ref into the set. Paul Heyman shows up with the handcuff keys and struggles mightily to unlock them to the point where the backup referee has to stop counting in order to keep the match going. Oof, that was awkward. That sucked. Roman is finally freed and immediately jumps into the guillotine. KO is out and fails to answer the 10 count. Roman Reigns retains. I give this one 3.5 stars out of 5. I think the finish going down the way that it did, as awkwardly as it did, really took a lot of the wind out of the sails of this match by the end. And I think put a damper on what was otherwise a fine match. These two just brought it here. A crazy match with crazy moments. Kevin Owens is a madman, some of the stuff he was doing in this matchup here. And in the end, Roman wins on his own. No help from Jey Uso. No main event Jey in sight. And yeah, I think Kevin Owens made him look like $1 million. Time for the main event, the men's Royal Rumble match, beginning with Edge and Randy Orton at numbers 1 and 2, which is no surprise. They gave that away the previous night on Backstage. I can see the logic a little bit in giving the numbers 1 and 2 away like that, trying to get more eyeballs on the show overall. Did that help? Who's to say? But, you know, I think it would have been a much cooler surprise if we didn't know that and they introduced Edge as the first guy and then Orton at number 2. And oh my God, there's the history, there's the storyline revisited. Anyway, they brawl at the start of the match as Sami Zayn emerges at number 3. He and Orton beat down Edge for a while. Then Mustafa Ali joins in at number 4, 3-on-1 beatdown. Number 5 is Jeff Hardy, who runs right past his 8K camera entrance, goes for a twist of fate but gets pushed into an RKO. More RKOs and Orton eats a spear. More outside brawling with Edge and Orton. Execution on the table. At number 6, it's Dolph Ziggler. Edge hits Orton in the leg with a chair and suddenly the refs get all up in his business about it. Ziggler eliminates Hardy and then he bails over the barricade for some reason. Orton appears like he's genuinely hurt on the outside. Number 7 is Shinsuke Nakamura. Orton helped to the back and is presumably out of the match. Number 8 is Carlito, who you may recall was advertised for Legends Night a few weeks ago, but couldn't make it due to travel problems. And so I guess here's the make good. He's in the Rumble match and he's looking real jacked, baby. Looking real jacked. Xavier Woods is number 9. He rushes in and takes down Ali. At number 10, it's Big E. The New Day work together and eject Sami Zayn. At number 11, it's John Morrison. Ali takes out Xavier and a peeved Big E takes out Mustafa. Number 12 is Ricochet. Number 13, Elias, who eliminates Carlito. Number 14 is Damian Priest and he takes out Elias. Number 15 is The Miz and he destroys the DJ's equipment from earlier. Why was it still out there though? Bad Bunny then shows up and in the distraction, The Miz and Morrison are taken out by Priest. Then Bad Bunny with a dive off the top onto them. There's your WrestleMania matchup, folks. Number 16, Riddle. Number 17, Daniel Bryan, my pick here. And number 18, Kane. He eliminates Dolph Ziggler. Chokeslams Ricochet on the apron. My word. We get a reunion of Team Hell No, but then Kane hits the chokeslam. Priest eliminates Kane. Number 19, King Corbin. He takes out Shinsuke. Number 20, Otis, who practically dumps Riddle onto his head. Goes up for the Vader bomb, but Corbin dumps him out. Number 21, Dominic Mysterio. He gets splattered by Corbin, but Dom eliminates him. Number 22 is the U.S. champion, Bobby Lashley. He hucks Dominic out of the ring, ejects Priest. He and Big E have a great exchange. U.S. champ versus Intercontinental champion. Number 23, the Hurricane comes back. He goes the double chokeslam, but we're not in 2004 anymore, Shane. At number 24, it's Christian. Holy shit. Like, Christian is back at the Royal Rumble. Like, there was that match that he had with Orton a few months ago, and then this is his actual, like, full-length match. He's in the gear, he's got the music. It's a really cool thing, and all I can think of is, damn, I wish there was a live crowd to experience this. I think Christian got kind of hosed between he and Edge. It takes 4 or 5 guys to finally eliminate Lashley. Edge and Christian give a hug, and I kind of teared up a little bit. Number 25 is AJ Styles. He comes in swinging of Edge. It's a spear. Number 26, Rey Mysterio. He tries to eliminate Styles, but Omos catches him. Then he grabs Big E and eliminates him from the outside, and pie faces E over the announce table. At number 27, it's Sheamus, who gets a brogue kick on Christian. Rey goes to the 619, but Omos gives him the Mutombo, then throws him into the barricade and eliminates him. At that point, I'm like, why was that allowed at a certain point? I mean, and if that's the case, and if Omos can help AJ Styles so much, why didn't Mustafa Ali have, like, Retribution, the group whose sole purpose in WWE was to mess stuff up, in case you forgot, and like they're just not present for this at all. Number 28 is Cesaro. We get a brief bar reunion before a giant swing, and then one to Bryan as well. At number 29, the returning new Papa, Seth Rollins, and number 30 is Braun Strowman. Save your Goldberg conspiracy theories, kids. He takes out Cesaro, takes out Sheamus, takes out AJ. Edge and Christian with a double spear. Riddle and Bryan exchange many blows. Rollins stomps Daniel and eliminates him. Riddle goes to the apron to take out Rollins, but it backfires and he's stomped out. Your final 4, quote-unquote, are Edge, Christian, Strowman, and Rollins. Strowman and Christian tumble out together. Rollins goes for a stomp, but Edge dumps him out. He thinks he's won, but bam, RKO. Randy Orton is back and not really hurting anymore. Goes to throw out Edge, but he reverses it. Edge wins, going from number 1 to the whole thing. Holy crap. I'm going to give it 5 stars out of 5. This was a very well done Rumble match, an incredible return bout for Edge, and the surprise and well done return by Christian as well. Not as many fun moments in this match as there was in the Women's Rumble per se, but I think there was still a lot of drama throughout and some good stories told that kept it flowing. I'm kind of surprised also that there was no Fiend involvement or interruptions or other kind of shenanigans from the Fiend during this match. The story was clearly more on Edge and Orton between these two instead of Orton and the Fiend. There was no kind of overlap there. And by the way, how silly is it that Orton, after getting burned by a fireball like 2 or 3 weeks ago, has the scars and the mask over his face? By now, he's just fine. A little sunburn and the skin peeled off. My grade for the 2021 Royal Rumble is an A-. At the end of the day, I walked away from this show with a big smile on my face because I think top to bottom this was just a great event. I think there wasn't one bad match on the card, and even the match that I rated the lowest still was enjoyable for what it was. And of course, the right person won, I'm going to be honest. There were so many fun and memorable and crazy moments on this show. Each match had at least one big takeaway that was, was a positive one. Things made sense. They felt right, I would say. And of course, the performances by Edge and Bianca Belair going from 1 and 3 respectively all the way to the end is incredibly impressive. And yeah, I think that, they did the right thing here. WWE still knows how to kill it every once in a while, and this is another example of that. But what did you think of the Royal Rumble show, and which Rumble match did you think was the better of the two? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm Brian Zane, and I'll see you next time.